Regular meeting of Clear Lake City Council of Tuesday, May 6th, 2021 shall come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Motion to approve the agenda, please.
Second.
Moved by Dana, moved by Mark, seconded by Dana, that we approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. To the consent agenda, you have a copy of the minutes of June 21, 2021. We need approval of the bills and claims, of which you also have a copy. Licenses and permits. Liquor license, Class C, liquor license Half Moon Clear Lake LLC, that's a renewal. Class C, liquor license 5-day license, Brews on the Beach, that's new. You have an excavator's license, Cole Excavating, a renewal. A sign erector's license, Nagel Signs, renewal. Street closing request, Brews on the Beach, July 10th. Clear Lake Antique and Classic Boat Show, July 17th. Clear Lake Noon Lions Chicken Barbecue, July 18th, and the Class Car Club Car Show, August 6th and 7th. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Mike, that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Now is the time and place for anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on any item not on the agenda. Please approach the podium, state your name, give your address, please, so the clerk can properly enter the minutes. This is not a discussion time nor a question and answer time, and you have 3 to 5 minutes. None appearing, we'll move on to unfinished business, of which we have none. We'll move directly to 6, new business A, 2020 East Main Avenue Street Reconstruction and Bike Lane Extension Project. Intro, Mr. Flory. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, I'll run through the items here in your packet with you. The pink sheets in your packet are pay estimate number 8, which serves as the final pay estimate on this project. Mr. Petersburg's going to review that pay estimate with you, and also the certificate of completion. Jason will review that with you as well. The yellow sheet that follows that is the resolution accepting the work for the 2020 East Main Avenue Street Reconstruction and Bike Lane Extension Project. The purple sheet after that is the resolution ordering the preparation of the final plat and schedule of assessment for the project. Then again, the yellow sheet, as I mentioned, is the certificate of completion that Mr. Petersburg's going to review with you here just in a few moments. And then last but not least is a draft copy of the final assessment plat and schedule. So when you approve that second resolution, then that allows us to work with legal counsel to prepare the final plat and assessment it, and we'll review that at the next meeting. So just in the way of some background on this one, since it's been a little while on this, back at your meeting on March 3rd, 2020, the council had held the public hearing on the plans of specs and form of contract estimate of cost for this project, and then at that same meeting made an award of contract to Wix Construction of Decorah. Wix had submitted the lowest responsible bid. That was in the amount of $2,182,590.47. And just as a reminder, the engineer's opinion of the probable cost of construction was $2,045,947. This was, of course, the second phase of the overall redevelopment of East Main Avenue. This phase dealt with the portion of Main Avenue between 13th and 14th Street and 20th Street. And the earlier phase, of course, was the portion from 20th to 24th Street. So that phase in total was just under $1 million in work and legal, administrative, and engineering costs. So again, just about $1 million there. This portion of the project was a mirror image of that earlier phase. Included pavement removal, sanitary sewer mains and manholes, water main improvements, storm sewer main intake and manholes, 7-inch thick PCC street paving. Street was 43 feet in width, driveway improvements, street lighting, sidewalks, and other miscellaneous work, including sod. As I mentioned, the project engineer now filed the certificate of completion. That was done on June 30th, indicating that all the work has been done in compliance with the project plan specifications that were previously approved by the council. So again, we can now initiate the process to close out this process and start the special assessment proceedings. So final assessment plat and schedule, as I mentioned, we'll have on the docket for the next council meeting, so your July 19th meeting. The final value of the construction work for this portion of the project was $2,037,867.43. That is approximately $180,500 less than what the original contract amount was. The indirect costs, so again, this is the legal, administrative, and engineering costs for this project, were $251,181.62, so about 12.3% of the overall cost of the project. The amount that is proposed to be specially assessed against the benefit of properties is $392,010.69, or roughly 17% of the project cost. So again, the city's footing the bill for 83% of the project, property owners 17%. The total project cost, including legal, administrative, and engineering, when you combine that with construction, is just under $2.3 million for this phase. So, and then we've got, of course, the next phase. We'll be taking up those issues probably this fall, September, October timeframe on the phase between 8th and 14th. So in total, we'd be looking at from North 8th Street to North 24th Street, somewhere around $7 million in improvements here. So pretty significant project for us. So. I don't know if anyone has any questions before Jason reviews the recommendation to accept the work and the final pay estimate.
Council, any questions for Scott?
Might just also mention that Jeremy mentioned that they do now have the no parking signs up on the north side there for where the bike lane is. So. Sod turned out fantastic.
Good hearing. Thanks, Scott. Review of pay estimate number 8, the final pay estimate and recommendation to accept the work. Jason Petersburg, Feenstra & Kim. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Scott covered the final numbers there in the final pay estimate. Just a quick reminder, there were 3 change orders on this project. Change order number 1 was a change in the notice to proceed date. We moved that up last year after the cancellation of the parade. There was no cost associated with that. Change order number 2 was a substitution on the geogrid material, and that was a deduct of $8,548. And change order number 3 was some storm sewer work at Main and North 12th Street, which was added to the overall scope of the project, and that was $41,056. So even after all the change orders, we're still under the original contract amount by approximately $145,000 and ahead of schedule. So good weather, good group of contractors and subcontractors, and good planning by the city is what I would say allowed that to happen. V&K recommends approval of pay estimate 8, the final pay estimate, which is for the retainage. Retainage only in the amount of $893.37, and that is to Wicks Construction out of Decorah. We also recommend the approval of the resolution accepting the project itself. And then also included in your packets is a draft of the final assessment schedule. For the most part, final assessments are the same as the preliminary assessments, looking at the individual properties, with the exception of a few of the properties where the sewer and water services, the existing sewer and water services, were determined to be in compliance with the city code, so the property owners will not have to pay assessments on those few. Now that we've compiled the final assessment costs, we request council approval of the resolution ordering preparation of the final assessment plat and schedule. Any questions?
How did the final assessments compare to the estimates that we looked at many months ago?
They'll be about the same.
Okay.
A few will go down, not by much, but the actual paving price was higher than what we had estimated, so that pretty well held the preliminary assessments as the final.
And one other quick question. North 16th and that intersection there. The planned work for North 16th and First Avenue North, will any of that have connections to any of the situation that was just completed?
There will be a connection on North 16th Street, water main and storm sewer extending north. On 20th Street, there will be water main that goes north, or storm sewer that goes north up to First, and then west about a block and a half, 2 blocks. And then also on 12th Street, which we did the improvements as part of change order 3 as part of this project.
Yeah.
We'll be extending storm sewer north up to First and then west a half a block there as well.
So some of that's set up for those future projects in a pretty big way.
All the pipes are extended out and plugged for this future extension.
Okay, good. Thank you.
If I'm correct, as you just stated, the final cost of construction was $2,037,867.43. And I do believe the engineer's opinion to begin with of probable cost was $2,045,947. I'd say that's pretty close.
Lucky.
Well done. Any other questions of Jason? Thank you much. Appreciate it. Therefore, entertain a motion to approve pay estimate number 8, the final payment in the amount of $101,893.37. Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Dana, that we approve the final pay estimate on the 2020 East Main Avenue Street Reconstruction and Bike Lane Extension Project. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. And now I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2127, a resolution accepting the work.
So offered.
Moved by Mike, seconded by Mark, that we approve Resolution 2127. Is there any discussion? Mark?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
And Dana?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0, and Resolution 2127 is duly adopted. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2128. This is a resolution ordering preparation of final plat and schedule of assessments for the 2020 East Main Avenue Street Reconstruction and Bike Lane Extension Project. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Dana, that we approve Resolution 2128. Is there any discussion? Mike?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
And Mark?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2128 is duly adopted. Thank you. And 6B, appointment of Jeremy Kornberg as Public Works Director. Review, Mr. Flory.
Thank you, Mayor. The blue sheet in your packet represents this item. I should start by saying it was probably a little around 4 years ago when I recruited Jeremy from Veenstra and Kim. I met him on some of our construction projects and was doing a good job. Jason had no idea at the time when I was asking him what kind of guy Jeremy was and his background things, that I had bigger plans for him, but he now knows, so cat's out of the bag. But Jeremy's done a good job with us. He's been with us for more than 4 years now, and again, he's I think served really well since October when Joe Weigel retired as our Public Works Director after more than 30 years. So Jeremy's been in this role at an interim basis for the last 9 months, and I think performed really well in that length of time. So we're really excited about the opportunity to nominate him for the full-time Public Works position with your blessing. So I don't have anything further on it unless anyone has any questions of me, but we'd like to make his appointment permanent.
Any questions for Scott? Thank you, Scott. Therefore, I'll entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2129, a resolution approving the appointment of Jeremy Kornberg as Public Works Director. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Bennett, that we approve Resolution 2129. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, just real quick, I would just like to
enthusiastically endorse this, say congratulations to Jeremy. Thank you for the hard work you and your team do, and so congratulations.
I think one example that I'd like to speak to was this past week, Jeremy took a few days of vacation, and I believe it was well worth his time to be away for a while. But I talked to a number of the Public Works gentlemen during that time. Very, very pleased with our motion here on appointing Jeremy as a new director. And Jeremy gave them a list of things for they to accomplish while he was gone. And this sounds a little different, but they were very pleased to have that list and very pleased to carry out that work.
Yeah.
That impressed me a lot. So I think this is an appointment that will go over very well, not only with the workers, but with the community as well, and that's the important part. Any other discussion?
I just mentioned, just building on that, while he was on that vacation, well-deserved, I bugged him every single day, and he responded timely with all the answers to the questions I asked him, so. Still within cell reception.
Well done. All right, roll call. Gary.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Dana.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
And Mike.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2129. Director Kornberg now. Chief, report.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I do want to congratulate Jeremy, too, on the appointment to director. I guess maybe now you probably won't be able to take 4th of July off like the rest of us next year, so well-deserved. Look forward to working with you in your department still. I don't want to take away from Stacy's chamber report about the 4th. I do have some tentative numbers for you. We still haven't unburied from the weekend, but we handled about 467 calls for service from the 6:30 to 7:05. In 2020, that same time period, we had 294 calls for service. And then 2019, we had 426. So we were up a little bit for calls for service for the 4th of July celebration. We handled about 40 fireworks calls as compared to 39 from last year, so up just one extra fireworks call. The majority of the most numerous call for service we had during the 4th were hang up 911 calls. So we had a lot of errors, a lot of missed dials. We took 93 calls for hang up 911. So that was 20-ish% of our total calls for service for the 4th. So that was kind of problematic. When the mayor had asked for a release on that, so we kind of talked about that a little bit in the paper. I think tomorrow it should come out. But I do want to thank all the city departments for their work for the 4th. Parks, Public Works, Fire, EMS, Police. They worked a lot of hours to make the event a success. At least from our eyes, it was a success. The Iowa State Patrol and the Sheriff's Office helped us out with traffic after the 4th of July or after the fireworks to get people out of here. And due to our current staffing, this was the first year that we had the lowest number of officers working the 4th and the lowest number of overtime, so that will help the city out for that. But with some creative staffing from Captain Colby and myself and some of the supervisors, we were able to staff it correctly. The parade, the 5K, everything was kind of pushed out, and parking was a little bit of an issue, but not terrible. We had a lot of compliments, a couple complaints. We handled all those, but again, from our eyes, it was a success. We were kind of nervous to see what was going to happen because of the parade on the 5th, but I think everything was fine from our perspective. So the arrest numbers will be down, which are good. Citations were down, which was also good. Parking tickets are going to will be up. So once we get all those factored through, you'll have that on your report for next week. So other than that, is there any questions at all?
Other than I thought Well done, Chief. I had to find my way out of downtown a couple of nights and, took different avenues than I normally do. And consequently, I would come from one block to another block. And I thought, Crab, you're not in any hurry. Just take your time. You'll get home. So, no, I thought it was well done. I especially the cooperation with PW, the fire department, all the departments here in town, including the chamber. Wonderful cooperation, and that's what we're all about. So it's good.
This is unscientific, but there just seemed to be a lot of people in Ventura and Clear Lake over the 4th this year. There was a lot of neighborhood parties going on, a lot of house parties, which is great. It was all great. The south side of the lake had a lot of stuff going on too. We heard from the sheriff's office. So not only do we manage the event, but we have to manage the whole holiday weekend. So again, I'm very proud of the staff, the dispatchers, the officers, the fire, public safety in general really, I think, stepped up over the last couple of days. So I just very grateful for all their work. So.
Well, especially last year, nationwide, we were saying, stay at home. Don't go. And this year it's, hey, I got to get out of here and move. And that's exactly what happened. They did. Well done. Any other comments, Council? Thank you. Jeremy, Public Works Director's report.
Mayor, Council, thanks for the vote of confidence earlier. And if you ever have any questions for me outside of council meetings, I guess I have an open door. Give me a call. Like I told Scott, I listen to you. I'll try and answer whatever questions I can and try and come up with a solution. Nothing's always perfect, so figure it out and move on, right? But for director's report tonight, not a whole lot. You mentioned Main Avenue earlier with the parking signs. We got those up last week because of just some different things. We did not get the bike lane emblems painted. We plan on getting those done this week. Rod, who does our painting, had quite a few things to work on last week, and he also had a day or two off, so just didn't quite get done. As far as the sod on Main, it's looking great. I did talk with Jason today and the landscapers. We're going to continue to try and water that once or twice a week, depending on the weather, just to try and help it into the fall or help it here through the dry spell that we continue to have. So other than that, 4th of July, I had some conversation with the guys this morning, and it seemed like everything went pretty smooth for them. I think over the past 3 years, we've worked well and just kind of collaborated as the event comes up with the chamber and everything to make sure road closures, signage, everything is kind of thought of and talked about as much as we can beforehand. That way we have less surprises. So we already have a few things to go over here in the next week or two before we forget about them to make next year better. So yeah, it's just a good working relationship there. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you unless you have questions for me.
Council, any questions for Director? Thanks. Well done.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Wellness Center Director Report. Adam Long. Welcome, Adam.
Council. If I could, real quick, I'm going to give you guys a quick construction update. It's a couple weeks old. We have another one a week from tomorrow. But good news is we're on schedule. And then when the guys from Snyder were kind of expanding on that point, they said it's not December yet, so we're okay. So whatever that means. No, everything's going really well. They said roof's totally on, enclosed. The building's enclosed. There's still an opening on one side to get heavy equipment in. Plumbing's all roughed in on the main floor in the locker rooms. Windows should be all in on the bottom floor. They ended up shipping some of the wrong windows, but those all got sent back, and we should be good to go there. So, again, we'll have another one a week from tomorrow, so I'll give you guys another report the next time, a little bit more up to date. First thing on the agenda I wanted to go over was our assistant position. We kind of went over this last week in our first wellness committee meeting and wanted to kind of explain to you guys what this position's all going to entail. Should be, pink sheet in your paper. So with this position, what we're really looking for is somebody that's going to spearhead our our recreational sports and activities programs in the Clear Lake area. So obviously with a facility like this, we're going to have a lot of availability for indoor recreational sports, but I also feel like maybe we're not expanding as much as we can on the outdoor recreational activities that we can do as well. So not just your baseball and your flag football and things like that outside, but utilizing the pool a little bit more, utilizing the beaches, utilizing the lake for activities. You know, even kids camps in the summer. You know what I mean? Giving our community, giving our parents a place to send our kids where they know they're going to be safe, they know they're going to have a lot of fun. So this position is really going to kind of spearhead that movement here, which I think will be very, very good for the community. We're hoping to start advertising probably around August. Again, this is kind of a rough draft of the job description, but we're hoping to advertise in August, probably interview somewhere around September, and maybe have them start mid-October, if not sooner. You know, annual market for a position like this is going to be somewhere 50, 60,000 per year. You know, again, obviously they're going to have a lot on their plate. They're going to wear a lot of hats, especially the first couple of years. But that being said, you know, I'm sure you guys all know that recreation sports friend that you have that are all, you know, that are about this type of life, and they love it. They love the rec sports. You know, it's going to be a lot of commitment, a lot of time, but you definitely find the right person that's passionate about this. It'll be a very, very good addition to our staff. So that's kind of the rough draft there. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Council, any questions for Adam?
I guess I do.
Bring them on.
Yeah, okay. It's probably just my own ignorance that causes me to ask all these. But anyway, in my understanding, we're undergoing a paradigm shift away from parks and rec to a recreation scenario and a park scenario.
I think we're starting at the very genesis of that, yes.
Okay, and I guess what I'm reading here and what I'm hearing him say, this individual will be a key player in all of that.
Definitely.
And so we're talking not only indoor rec programs for both students and adults, but outdoor rec programs for students and adults. And back in the bad old days, Clear Lake used to have all kinds of park programs where children gathered. And, you know, many decades ago, my daughter was one of those supervisors, and they were very popular. And I don't think we've had anything like that for
It's been a little while.
quite a few years. So that would also be part of this, in my understanding. And will this person be actively involved in running the outdoor pool then?
That's the direction we'd like to head.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just trying to clarify some of these things.
Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yep, you're on the right path. That's pretty much the paradigm shift, as you mentioned, that we see things going.
Okey-doke, thank you.
And you hit it on the head as far as not just the recreational sports, a lot of different activities can be utilized, especially in a town like Clear Lake. When we have a lot of these different parks and amenities, we want to make sure that we're utilizing them. So,
Good, thank you.
next part in your packet, your nice little colorful packet, this is our indoor playground. So we wanted to kind of show you guys the initial bid that we had for this playground. As you can see on the front page here, this is the view as you're walking through. A lot of custom pieces on this project here. You know, the best thing since I've started here, I mean, maybe not the best thing, but a great thing has been having a Tura to sit down with, you know, sometimes 3-4 times a week. They're probably annoyed by me by now, but going over there, sitting down with them and having discussions with them, anything that I'm worried about, anything that I have questions about, they're very, very open to sitting down and talking. So sitting down with Austin my first week, you know, they kind of had this plan already kind of set. So what we wanted to do was kind of make some changes, see where we could, you know, maybe make some improvements, maybe some things that we didn't need. And we found that, and I think we got pretty close to where we're going to need to be at. But as you can see, this front page, this is going to be kind of the main room. They have a, you know, a big play zone area, which is kind of a maze, very big piece there. That next page, you can see you got a kid in there. You know, you've seen these, you know, with the custom pieces, kind of making it more of a sporty type of atmosphere is kind of what we're going for there. Next page is going to be more of the toddler room. There's a little whistle slide there. There's some interactive games on the wall, which I really like. That reaction game where those two kids are playing. It's one of those reaction drills where one of the screens light up and you hit it, you know, based on reaction time. So these are kind of the different ways that we wanted to go. And then if you go down to the actual proposal and the details, you can see, and again, I'm not going to pretend like this is some type of specialty on my end of it. I had no idea about playground equipment. I've never quoted playground equipment. I had no idea. So some of these prices were kind of, you know, a little bit high on my mind. But again, you know, we need to have something after sitting down with numerous parents and showing them some of these pictures. That's who I wanted to get input from. So moms, dads who have young kids are going to be utilizing this type of facility. They have a similar one in Mason City, in the mall at Mason City. And again, if you guys all have had kids, small kids, they know how to break anything. So we want to make sure that we get some type of durable equipment. So we were able to take this quote down. I know that seems crazy to say that, but we were able to take it down a quite significant number. And I think that we're pretty close to where we need to be at. Install, lead times were about 12 weeks out with the equipment and the products, and then install is going to be about 3 to 4 weeks. Talking to Brian over at Playtime, we are going to be able to get on schedule and probably get this installed around October, mid-October, and get on their schedule and still be okay. Still waiting on another bid from another company. Want to see a couple other bids and see what they can kind of put together. But this is kind of what I think that we're going for. Again, Austin and I spent a lot of time going over this. He has small kids. He's done a lot of research on these types of projects. Again, making my job a lot easier, those guys over at Atura. So it was really nice to have something set. I kind of see it. I kind of think this is exactly the route we're going, but we wanted to at least show you the preliminary kind of way that we're looking at going with the indoor playground. Because again, with these long winters here, I'm assuming that this is going to be utilized a lot, and I want to make sure that it is a high standard for the parents and the kids are going to love it. Which, to me, I know my kids will be there all the time and loving it. So, any questions on this?
Just throw out too, if you remember back when we did that survey research on the project, this was one of the higher ranking areas of interest for the Wellness Center was the indoor playground. So,
What's the target age for children that will be?
So that little section with that little whistle down there, that's going to be more the toddler area. So we're looking at toddler all the way up to about 10 years old.
And obviously, this will be staffed by a city hire.
you know, there'll be people hired, yeah, but there's also talking about, Adam's kind of working with the school at that Silver Core program.
Oh,
I remember trying to get some people involved through that, some students involved in that a little bit. But yes, generally under the auspices of Adam and the assistant.
Well, it looks pretty nice. It's not snow forts and trees to climb and,
Yeah.
you know, the things Mike Keefe and I grew up with, but it'll have to do.
Any other comments, questions?
Yeah, just real quick, Adam, am I correct in my memory that this area is directly across from the front desk as people
front
walk
lobby.
in?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
there'll be a lot of personnel, a lot of people
Absolutely.
observing this, and it's a glass entryway. It's not a enclosed
Absolutely.
deal. So.
And our other whole point for this kind of area is not an area where we really want parents to necessarily drop their kids off. This is going to be an area where parents can sit down
Right.
and talk, let their kids play, supervise more so than anything, but we will have plenty of staff there as well.
Yeah. Well, I certainly agree with you on pursuing high-quality, safe equipment. And like you say, it's not necessarily inexpensive.
Absolutely.
But I do appreciate that because I think, again, it's going to be a tremendous attraction for young families. And so, yeah, thank you.
And I actually met a contact, the baseball coach at Clear Lake. He owns a fogging company. So we've already talked about different ways to make sure that gets fogged. It makes it a lot easier to clean it that way by fogging the area at the end of the night versus having to wipe down every little square inch of that thing. So we've already talked about sitting down with him and just probably purchasing an actual fogger, and then we can actually just have staff do that. Save us a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah.
Anything else, council, for Adam? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Under Mayor's report, first I want to call on Stacy. CEO Chamber of Commerce.
Mayor.
Well done.
Thank you. We made it. All right, you'll have to bear with me. I have notes. I know the match is on, but I'm gonna read a little bit here if you're okay with that, just to make sure that I cover everything I want to. All right, so after waiting for the return of Clear Lake's 4th of July celebration for 2 years, we were thrilled to see Evans United roll into town. It was clear from beginning to end people were ready to celebrate. I heard repeatedly throughout the week from Clear Lakers, I have never seen so many people here over the 4th. This year's event proves that absence does make the heart grow fonder. Missing 2020's event made every moment this past week just a little sweeter. And I know it made me appreciate how incredibly grateful we are to call Clear Lake home. There's no possible way that I can thank everybody who made this last week a success, but I'm going to try and thank a few. So, our supportive community, the businesses who lose their parking for an entire week, our city partners, Public Works, Parks, law enforcement, first responders, EMT, the fire department, who got to be honored as Grand Marshal, who all worked tireless hours to support this event. Gosh, I'm a little emotional, guys. All right, the volunteers who generously give up their time during the holidays to help with bingo, set up parade, judge the parade, entertainment sponsors who allow us to bring great live music we enjoy for free, the Ignite Committee who, along with the generous fireworks donors, made the future of our beloved fireworks show solid into the near future. Without the effort of that Ignite Committee, we wouldn't be putting on the excellent show that we are today. The Fireworks Committee for putting on one of the best fireworks displays in the country. CNN even said so, and that is not fake news. Our 4th of July Committee, who spent months planning the event and volunteering throughout the event. My team at the Chamber. This event requires long days and long nights, but it's truly the best week of the year. I'm so proud to work alongside some of the hardest working people I know. Seeing so many people enjoy our community is truly why we do this. And of course, the Evans family. They travel all over the country, but it is clear Clear Lake has a special place in their hearts. Because Clear Lake is a special place. This morning we said goodbye with tears in our eyes and celebrated a record-breaking year. So we can't wait until 2022. And until then, we have Thursdays on Main, Harvest Festival, Christmas by the Lake, Color the Wind, and the Try to work on. So we're excited about everything. And with that, I guess if you guys have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Council, any questions or comments?
Yeah, just real quick, Mayor. Record turnout then, Stacy?
Record
in terms
turnout,
of-
record numbers, record revenue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any idea on the number of people?
I
Approximately?
mean, I can tell you that, when you look at revenues, it's up somewhere in the neighborhood of 25%. So, I mean, I would correlate that to the number of people that we saw.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So my congratulations to the Chamber and to all our partners. It was a fantastic weekend, and my congratulations.
Yeah, so many positive things to focus
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it was certainly a community affair and well done by all of us in the community. We should all pat ourselves on the back, I think, but especially the Chamber, who have to put all this time together to organize, to get people, volunteers upon volunteers upon volunteers. Even Flory did bingo, amazing. So, we
I'd have some help.
we and then even each evening, late in the evening, or it comes early in the morning, that park gets picked up. The street gets picked up. Is it immaculate? No. Thousands of people are here, folks. It's not going to be immaculate. But you wait, as I just came in tonight, down Main Street. Maybe I saw one plastic bottle, and that was pretty much it. Now, think, we went 6 days this year, correct? Mm-hmm. Not 5, but 6 days. And thousands upon thousands every night were here. Yeah. I walked around the park with grandkids Saturday afternoon. And again, walked around it Sunday night before the fireworks. And Sunday night, right before the fireworks, around 8:30, 9 o'clock, the old funnel cake attraction, they were lined up into the middle of the park for funnel cakes. I don't know where the corn dogs were, and I know they were out of lemons because I couldn't get my lemonade. And, it's unheard of. It's unheard of in a town of, what do we have, Scott, 7,777 or
That's right.
7,650 or whatever the magic number is, not counting tourists. And we certainly welcome all those visitors that do come during that time. So, well done. You're right. Those fireworks were compared on CNN with Washington, D.C., which is considered the best over the mall, and second best would be New York City over the Hudson River. And you see a lot of those on news broadcasts. And then they said, and Clear Lake, Iowa, a small country town in Iowa, they had 7,650. But, it doesn't get any better than that. And we'd like to thank you, shall we say, the director of the chamber, and it was very, very well done.
Thank you. I think we
Thanks.
just need to focus on how positive the entire event went. I mean, the police department handled all of the situations well. Of course, we learn something new every year, but there's just no way we could have anticipated, seeing 25% more people. And, we, like I said, we learn every year, but we just, be grateful and focus on the positives and why we live here and why we love this community and we do what we do. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Assistant Chief Keefe.
First side. First of all, Jeremy, congratulations from the fire department to you too. And if you need anything, just let us know. There's not a problem. If we can help out, certainly let us know. From a personal note, you have my sympathy. But anyway, for us, June actually was a little bit less for us. We had 102 calls this year in June. We had 133 last year, so we're down a little bit. From overall, though, we're up. We're at 621 calls as of June 30th. We had 581 last year, so we're at this time last year, so we're a little bit ahead of that. Our 4th of July, a lot of calls, 61 calls. A couple calls in the lake. We had to get out on the lake, get the boat out, use it a little bit. Had a fire call, obviously, we'll talk that happened just before we got everybody ready for the parade, so we had some pretty tired guys walking the parade, but we got out there and got that done too. So we're moving ahead with our 9/11 program. We did get all our letters out. We've already got response back. We've got people coming, some departments already coming for that to bring some equipment over, so we're really excited about that. Other than that, if you went by our boat, it was sitting in the water this morning. If you went down by there, one of the cables broke, so our boat was kind of sitting down a goofy angle, and they've got that parts for that going to be repaired. It should be back up where it's supposed to be. So if you wonder why it's sitting in the water like I did this morning, it was broken coming back from the fire call. We had to put it back in. We used it on the fire call, on the house fire call on the south side of the lake, so it broke coming back in. We got it taken care of. Other than that, I don't have anything. I will, again, I'm a fireworks guy, okay? And I love the fireworks when professionals do it. I don't like it when somebody else doesn't, but if you notice, the University of Iowa Hospital said it's been up about 143% since 2017, since they changed the law. So I think even Mason City had one hurt over in the parking lot over there. So whatever you can do to get that changed back again, I'd appreciate it. So thanks.
Thank you.
I won't say anything bad about it.
What was it, about 2 a.m. you guys were out?
Yeah, 2 a.m. got back at 5:30 and tried to get them up and come down to the station before it wasn't easy. But we got them there. We had a good time in the parade. It was well
Yeah, well, congratulations on,
for their
yeah.
honor as Grand Marshal. The guys
Yeah.
appreciated that.
Yeah.
All of them enjoyed that quite a bit. So thank you.
Well deserved, well deserved. Still on my report here, the working together, once again, here we go. I know I overdo this, but the Clear Lake Fire Department, Clear Lake PD, Public Works, everybody in this community, just seemed to pull on ropes together, and it just, it doesn't end and shouldn't end really as such. Just want to say one thing, and I think it was a success. Remember, we passed the spot zoning ordinance. I believe the citizens carried that out very, very well. There may have been some glitches, but I don't know of any, at least what I saw, or maybe I should say what I didn't see. Well done. Well done. Any other comments on that spot zoning? Good, bad, or indifferent? Thank you. Mr. Flory.
Just congratulations to Stacy and the Chamber on a really spectacular job. Last year was a tough year and took some criticism unnecessarily that year, but I think this year, boy, what a remarkable job. And I got to follow her around quite a bit and see all the hard work that her and her team put in, and boy, it's daunting. So, well done.
Questions for Scott? Thank you. Any other business, council? Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.